Hello everyone and welcome to the Pokemon Legends Arceus Pokédex Perfection Challenge. As I said, welcome to the Pokédex Perfection Challenge. This is going to be something new on the channel where I am going to attempt to try and complete every single Pokédex entry for all of the Pokemon in the game. This has been done before, most known by Johnstone, I believe, but it is not an easy task to complete. If you don't know how this game handles the Pokédex, it's pretty much the game mechanic, or like the main mechanic of the game. It's the main gameplay that you do. You go ahead and try to catch every single Pokemon, and if you do, you can complete certain tasks. Like you can see right here, some are like light up in red, which means that you get more research levels if you complete those tasks, and the purpose is to get a research level of 10 on every single Pokemon. And I believe by doing that you get like the Shiny Charm or you get Arceus. I'm not quite sure, but that doesn't really matter because we are trying to get all of these perfected. As you can see with Cynical right here, I completed all of the tasks, and it actually says research level 10, but it also says that it is perfect. So this is what we're gonna try to do with every single Pokemon in the game. Now, to complete some of these tasks, you have to kill certain Pokemon with certain move types. So for example, you have to kill, I think, Drifblim actually with some dark type moves, and you have to kill some other Pokemon with ice type moves or with fighting types or bug type moves. And to do that, you pretty much only need a Pokemon and a move of that type. So let's say I need to kill Pokemon with a dark type or a psychic type or a ground type or a rock type for that matter. I could use Snorlax for all of these, but I do like to have some variation in my team, so I do like to have some different Pokemon. But as you can see, my pastures, or like my boxes, are pretty empty. Now let me tell you, I put a lot of time into this game, so these are not all of the Pokemon that I have. Most of the Pokemon I had in here have been transferred to Pokemon Home, which was almost a living shiny dex. I think I was only missing Burmy and some of the more obscure ones like that. And then I also had a living alpha dex almost. I think I was only missing like 2 Unontan forms, and I think that's it. I pretty much had every single other alpha, but those are all in Pokemon Home right now. So in order to get some more variation on here, I decided to go and catch every single alpha Pokemon in the game. Now with that I mean every single 100% spawn alpha. If you didn't know, there are certain Pokemon like Snorlax, and actually like every Pokemon in here, because these are all of the alphas that I caught in the Obsidian Fieldlands. I always forget that name, I don't know why. But these are the 100% alpha spawns in the Obsidian Fieldlands. And for the first couple of videos of this series, I will be doing a little alpha catching compilation, because I put quite some time into actually catching these. I think it took me an hour and a half to just catch these Pokemon. I don't know why. Shouldn't have took me so long, I think, but it did. So yeah, I kind of just want to do a little compilation, and after that I'll be getting into the 2 Pokemon that I'll be tackling today. So with that being said, let's enjoy me catching some alphas. hope you enjoyed watching the alpha catching compilation. And just one final thing before moving on to the challenge part of the video is I want to ask you guys to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I know I'm doing the thing that every YouTuber does, you know, asking to like and subscribe to the video, but I'd really appreciate it if you would do so, because 98% of you apparently are not subscribed, and I don't know how it works with smaller channels and their subscription percentages, but I feel like that's kind of low. And if I want to start doing something like this, which is gonna take more effort than my other videos, which I just post random gameplay sometimes, or I do little guides on mobile games, you know, like this does take a lot more effort than just doing that. And I kind of want to get this series and the challenge done before the next Legends game comes out. That is the plan. So I do have until 2025 before Legends Z. I'm not quite sure what the actual name is of the game, but I do have a full year still left. But also there's still a lot of Pokemon left, and if I want to make a video about literally every single one of them, minus the one that I've already done, which is maybe 20 to 30 entries, it is going to take a while and it is going to take a lot of effort. So I'd just really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. Okay, with all that yapping out of the way, let's finally get into the challenge. So before even starting on Crobat, I already had a lot of tasks completed, only leaving me with 5 remaining. I only had to defeat him one more time, I had to defeat him with an Ice type move, I had to use 12 more Cross Poisons, 29 more Leech Lives, and I had to use 46 more Agile style moves. So the last Crobat I decided to defeat was this Alpha Crobat, and deciding to kill it with an Ice type move allowed me to complete 2 tasks at the same time. In order to get rid of my last few Cross Poison uses, I decided to beat up Nosepass. After defeating the Nosepass though, instead of showing me that I used my last Cross Poison, the game showed me that I had beaten more Nosepass. I know the game doesn't always show every single task you completed, and instead they tell you that you completed a task and a few more, but I think they should really prioritize the ones that you fully complete above others. Anyway, that was the last Cross Poison kill though, so let's move on to the next one. To use my last 2 Leech Lives, I decided to violate this little Luxio over here. And by far the most time-consuming task is of course using 70 Agile style moves, which is kind of weird because if you combine the Cross Poison and Leech Life usages, you only come up with 65. So I don't know why it's 70 Agile style moves. It's way too many in my opinion, but we did finally do it against this Bronzor. So after doing all of those tasks, we can finally report to Professor Leviton, who will tell us that we have a perfect Pokédex entry on Crobat. Alright, the next Pokemon that we'll be doing is Drifloon, and just like with Crobat, we already have a lot of tasks completed. I feel like this is gonna be the case for a lot of these Pokemon, to be honest, because I did play this game a crap ton. So even though we only have to catch 1 more Drifloon, we have to catch 3 more at night. We have to use 4 more Confusions, use Hypnosis 38 more times, and we need to evolve just 1. Alright, so to catch our last Drifloon, I'll of course be catching 1 at night. In order to use our last Confusion, I'll be beating up some poor Kricketot. And what you might think would have been the most annoying part about this, which is of course using the 38 Hypnosises, was actually way more fun than I thought it would be. If you didn't know, in order for the Hypnosis to count toward the task, it needs to land on the Pokemon, which means it cannot miss. So I put a couple of Drifloon in my party and made use of the Strong style, which effectively boosts your accuracy to land the Hypnosis more often. After finally using it 38 more times, we can stop putting these poor rocks to sleep. Now only 1 task remains, and that is to evolve just 1 Drifloon, and as you might expect, this is definitely the easiest challenge of them all. And yet again, with all the tasks completed, we're gonna report back to Leviton, who is going to tell us that we have perfected Drifloon's Pokédex entry. I thank you so much for watching if you actually watched up until this point. I do plan on making these pretty regularly, so I hope I can come through on that promise. So if you want to see when I next upload a video, make sure to be subscribed and like turn on notifications and all of that good stuff. So yeah, that's gonna be it. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you next time. Alright, later. Bye.